Think this new algorithm could revolutionize how we analyze market trends.
This is incredible. The predictive accuracy is off the charts.
In the glass towers of downtown San Francisco, Marcus adjusts his rearview mirror quietly, checking his phone like every few minutes. No one knows he's running 3 patents through the approval process. No one even notices the MIT alumni sticker barely visible on his dashboard. But when the venture capitalists in his backseat struggle with their pitch deck crisis, he listens. What they didn't know was that he'd solved this exact problem 6 months ago. And with just one business card, he was about to change everything. Because sometimes the person driving you to your destination is already miles ahead. Before we dive into this incredible story, if you believe in recognizing talent wherever it's found, hit that subscribe button. On a scale of 0 to 10, how often do you think we overlook brilliance in unexpected places? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to ring that notification bell because stories like this remind us why every person deserves respect. Marcus Thompson had worked the Bay Area rideshare circuit for 8 months, picking up passengers between coding sessions at coffee shops. Silicon Valley executives slid into his Honda Accord as if he were invisible furniture. But Marcus watched. He always watched. On that Tuesday afternoon, Marcus heard something that made his grip tighten on the steering wheel. "The authentication protocol is completely broken," said the man in the Armani suit. "We're hemorrhaging user data, and our Series B presentation is tomorrow." Marcus moved closer to the conversation, adjusting his mirror. Those words weren't foreign to him. He whispered, "Blockchain-based identity verification." The CEO, Richard Blackstone, glanced up with a smirk. Did the driver just try to solve our cybersecurity crisis? But deep inside Marcus, something had stirred. 20 minutes later, the venture capitalist still lingered in his backseat, voices growing sharper. "We're looking at a complete system rebuild," said Blackstone's CTO. "Minimum 6 months, assuming we can even find developers who understand zero-knowledge proofs." Without thinking, Marcus spoke. Zero-knowledge authentication with biometric anchoring, Layer 2 implementation on Ethereum, 3-week deployment timeline. Dead silence, 4 pairs of eyes turned to him. "Right," Blackstone scoffed. "And I suppose you have the white paper in your glove compartment." Marcus pulled over and walked away, but this time his shoulders straightened. That wasn't just embarrassment. That was determination finally waking up. In his modest Oakland apartment, Marcus sat with his MacBook Pro covered in startup stickers. On the screen, lines of Solidity code. The pages were full of smart contract architectures for decentralized identity systems. Back then, this was his language. Marcus Thompson, MIT Computer Science 18, youngest intern ever at Ethereum Foundation, published researcher in cryptographic protocols. The last time he'd presented to VCs, he'd been rejected for the 14th time. "Market's not ready," they'd said. "Too technical. Where's your business co-founder?" His savings had run out 6 months ago, and his student loans wouldn't wait. But this time, Marcus didn't close the laptop. He opened his business plan and started to type. "Authentichain, decentralized identity protocol." "There it is," he whispered. "It was always there." The financial district was still asleep when Marcus stepped out of his car. He'd spent all night polishing the demo. No hesitation. He walked into the Starbucks where he knew Blackstone got his morning coffee, opened his laptop, and began coding the live demonstration. When he finished, Marcus looked at the elegant solution displaying on his screen. There was nothing else to say. He waited. At 7:15 a.m., Blackstone walked in, already on his phone. "The board meeting is in 3 hours, and we still don't have answers." Marcus approached quietly. "Mr. Blackstone, yesterday's Uber driver, I believe this might interest you." Within minutes, Blackstone was leaning over the laptop. Soon, 3 other executives stood staring at the elegant code architecture. "This could be revolutionary," whispered the CTO. The TechCrunch article went live by noon. They pulled Marcus's LinkedIn profile, and there it was. Marcus Thompson, blockchain developer, founder of Authentichain. "That's the Uber driver," whispered Blackstone's assistant. Marcus sat across from Blackstone in the glass conference room. His business cards rested on the mahogany table. "You want to know who I am?" Marcus said. "So I'll tell you. I'm Marcus Thompson, MIT graduate. I've been building blockchain solutions since Ethereum was just Vitalik's white paper. I've published papers on cryptographic identity protocols. But rejection letters don't pay rent, and pride doesn't cover student loans. I didn't stop being a technologist when I started driving for Uber. I just needed to survive while I built something that could change the world." In that quiet boardroom, they finally saw Marcus, not as their driver but as their potential CTO. The next morning, Marcus stepped into the Uber garage like always, but something was different. His phone was buzzing with investor calls, then a text from Blackstone, "Partnership proposal, your terms." "Thank you for seeing what others missed," said Sarah, a fellow driver who'd watched Marcus code between rides. Later, the partnership was announced. A new accelerator program would be created specifically for overlooked technical talent. Marcus was invited to speak at TechCrunch Disrupt, under one condition: "I keep driving until every overlooked innovator gets their shot." The auditorium was packed. He stepped up and looked at them. Brilliance doesn't always wear a suit. Innovation doesn't always come from corner offices. Some of the most revolutionary ideas are being coded in coffee shops, developed in apartments, and dreamed up by people you pass on the street every day. Before you dismiss someone, ask yourself, what don't I know about their story? The entire room stood, thunderous applause. Today, Marcus still drives occasionally, not because he has to, but because he wants to stay connected to the hustle, the dreams, and the overlooked brilliance riding in backseats across America. AuthentiChain is valued at $50 million, but Marcus's real value is in the reminder he gives us all. If this story opened your eyes to the talent that surrounds us every day, share it with someone who needs to see it. Subscribe for more stories that celebrate the overlooked innovators changing our world. And remember, the next person who serves you might just be the one serving up the future.